Okay, so the side quest from the Parade of Providence event. I'm again streaming at night. Ugh. And distracted because it's the settings. Just a minute. Okay, so let's do the side quest. Alright, close Chrome. Okay. Let's drag a little. Yeah. Let's go. We decided to buy information from me. Yeah. Pamon's a little curious about your exclusive information, but we need to hear the price first. If it's too expensive, then forget it. I thought there will be voice acting, but it's just like this. I sell it to you for the fixed price of 1 million mora. That's a lot. Never mind, 1 million mora can buy lots and lots of tasty food. Wait a sec. Let me see. Pamon is customer number 1001 for today. The original cost of the information was 1 million mora, but for you the price is now free? Pamon didn't knew such luck exists. Wait, you are not baiting us into spending, are you? Maybe the first sentence is free, but not the next sentence. If you don't want it, fine. Next. Wait. Forget what Pamon said, we'll listen. Dory's exclusive scoop number 1. Do you remember the diadem of knowledge? It's broken now. Pamon remembers that only the champion was entitled to wear the diadem. It seems very valuable. Exactly, the diadem that Sachin gave the academia was a rather expensive antique. Yet this very diadem, after it was donated to the academia, was lost by them once before. They lost it? Why didn't we hear about this? If everyone knew about this, would my information still be considered exclusive? Of course, this information doesn't come from nowhere. I've got witnesses too. There's a young fellow named Kashmir from the suburbs. If you're interested in delving further, you can ask him. The password is that incident from 20 years ago. That's the name of the quest. Okay. Kashmir. Oh, almost forgot about this. It's down there. Oh, at the gate. Ah. My hand. I was just playing a shooter game. Shit. It's cracking. Oh, that guy. Shit, I forgot to read Dory's mind. I'm gonna go back.
I see everything.
Lank. Kashmir. Who are you guys? Is there something you need? That incident from 20 years ago. I guess I shouldn't have told anyone. Last time I had too much to drink and blabbered a little too much, and now people are seeking me out. Since you're curious, I guess I'll tell you. I was a 6-year-old 20 years ago. Okay, so I can't remember clearly what happened at the time, but recently I read the diary I kept when I was a child and vaguely recalled the situation back then. I guess that's expected from a child in Sumeru, 6-year-old with a diary. The International Championship was also held that year. There were 3 rounds, the last of which was outside the city. I begged mom to take me out of town to see it, and when she refused, I snuck out. And then I ended up getting lost outside the city. In the middle of nowhere, there was no one around. I grew more and more frightened and began to cry. That's when I saw some strange creatures. I can't remember what they looked like. I only remember how, as a child, I stopped crying at the sight of them. Oh, the Aranaras. Strange creatures. They must be. The Aranara. They took me to the competition. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, it was too late. It was already over. Just when I was disheartened, I suddenly saw one of those strange creatures slowly dragging a crown along. It was a beautiful crown shining in the moonlight, and I could not help but follow it. I saw the little fellow hide the crown in a hollow tree before disappearing. I wanted to touch the crown, but at the moment I could hear the distant cries of my mother. It turns out she figured out I was lost and called her neighbors to go looking for me. I never got to touch it. It wasn't until I was older, when I saw the diadem of knowledge at the International Championship, that I realized it was the same thing. So Aranaras were trying to hide the crown, but it got found again. And that's the reason why Nahida knows about the crown, I guess. Alright, do you remember where the diadem ended up? It's probably in the NVIDIA forest, but I've been back a few times and I haven't found anything. No one would believe me even if I told them. Alas, even I can't remember it clearly. Perhaps it was a dream I had when I was a child. Well, should we go look for it? I guess. I don't know how long this quest will be. Let's find out. That's far.
Everyone hold hands.
Still not thinking anything. Won't find anything though. That tree.
The wind rises.
Ah. Oh. A chest.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it was in my alt account. Not here. You can try and Baizhu.
Squall
I
of
also
fury.
wanted Ganyu. Ganyu. Do need a cryo. And the rerun is right after I've got Nahida, so I'm only on 50-50 again. There's a hole in the tree. It seems completely empty and there's nothing in it. Eh? Wait. There's a note there. The good Nara taught Arakashyapa how to read. Okay. Arakashyapa must protect the good Nara. What's this supposed to mean? That's it. Okay. There's another quest, such as article. Let's go. Let's see. I guess it didn't need voice acting much. They could have done it. We are back. Well, if it isn't Traveler and Paimon yet again. I have the latest update on the Academia Extravaganza. Would you like to hear it? How much is it? It's free. Isn't Lord Sangima very generous? Do you guys remember Sachin? The guy who sponsored the Academia Extravaganza? I once heard that the prize money and diadem of knowledge came from him. Bingo! In fact, not long ago, when I was doing business in the desert, I met an old businessman. Guess what I got from him? Dealer's ledger. With it, I can avoid dangerous areas in the desert and go to more places. Of course, the most important thing in that ledger mentioned Sachin. It turned out that Sachin had been to the desert to investigate the people's local conditions and customs. He also had cordial exchanges with traveling merchants in the desert. Much of the text is lost, but this is the first-hand account of the big sponsor behind the Academy extravaganza. Would you like a look? Okay, let's have a look then. The sandstorms are raging, the caravan has stalled. We ran into a scholar calling himself Sachin. He said he could sponsor the caravan, provided that we... This is a trial of human nature, betrayal, blunder. There was nothing we could do. No one could withstand. If I could do it all over again, I would never have taken that money. Then they wouldn't have had to die. I wouldn't be living like this, a fate worse than death. People are the most terrifying animals in this world. Damn. This is all hard to understand. Dory, what does this all mean? What does this all mean? I'm afraid that if you need it analyzed, it will cost you an extra million mora. Forget it then. Well, since you're not paying, that will be all for Dory's special use. But let me give you a hint. There should be someone here who's been to a lot of academia extravaganzas. Perhaps you could talk to them. Okay, what's it gonna be? Talk to someone at the venue. That's far. Okay, I guess this is from the second day of the event. That's fine. So will there be a third quest from Dory? For the third day we finished. So many side quests.
Behold!
Cool. You might know he's old, Vasudeva. Alas, seeing these young children, I can't help but reminisce about the past. The International Championship has always been a stage for young talent. Unfortunately, not every genius will be successful eventually. Why do you say that? Geniuses are mostly stubborn and cold and find it hard to understand the pain of others. Empathetic people, on the other hand, often fall into self-doubt and depression, like Sachin. Yeah, people who are not firm can only stand still, while people who are determined but walk down the wrong path refuse to look back. There's a lot to think about here. That wasn't much. Where's the other guy?
Squall Fury! Upon the gale!
Easy. Oh, Ishka. For this year's International Championship, my favorite has to be Sino. Aside from his skills as the General Mahamatra, looking back at the tournament's history, the Spartamat Darshan has the highest percentage of championships. Many people say that the Spartamat Darshan produces many talented people such as Cyrus, Rizika, Lisa, Sino. Cyrus is also from this Darshan. Okay, the brighter the talent, the sooner the game will lose its suspense. The most exciting competition was still 20 years ago. At that time, my friend also participated in the game and I went there to cheer for him. The last round was played in NVIDIA Forest. In the end, no one dared to approach them. No one knew what was going on in the depths of the forest. Then I heard the Academia shut down the competition. Later, the International Championship removed many of the events in which people fought to the death, discouraging people from being desperate enough to do so. What the hell? What is your friend like? Let me think. He's honest and kind, but he's also vulnerable and sensitive. Most of all, he cares about us. When we drink together, our time is filled with laughter and cheer. It's just too bad that it's all in the past now. Among the friends we drank with, some died, some disappeared, some now live in seclusion. They say fate is fickle. Perhaps it's true. Looks like something did happen 20 years ago. Right? Didn't Vikas tell us to seek him out if we had any questions? Now that we have time, why don't we ask him? Okay. Back to what it went to Vikas. Oh, long way to teleport. Okay, this is a lot of information. There has to be a third quest then. Geo. Still rendering. That incident from 20 years ago? Why the sudden question? Did you hear any particular information? We've heard that the diadem seems to have been lost 20 years ago, and some contestants' personality has changed. Seem to know a lot about that. Because is there something you're not telling us? Not exactly. I was 5 years old when it happened. How could I know? But there are things I've never told anyone. I'm actually a part of the Academy Extravaganza's planning committee because of the influence of a senior colleague. That senior colleague and I met on a trip. He was a bit timid and would always flee and cower somewhere at the first sign of an emergency. One day 4 years ago, I said to him, I want to go back to the academia. The academia extravaganza is about to begin. And then, upon mentioning the academia extravaganza, he got startled and said something about it. It has nothing to do with me. When I said goodbye to him, he insisted on getting a drink with me. After several drinks, he started talking all sorts of nonsense. I also had too many, and in my drunken stupor, I didn't really hear him that well. What? I remember that he said that he lost the diadem of knowledge for a while. He was in charge of the distribution and recovery of the diadem of knowledge, and that he nearly had a heart attack upon realizing that the diadem was missing. Fortunately, he finally found it in a tree hole. So he's the one who found it from there. Ha! Like the one we saw before. He said that diadem of knowledge is a very valuable treasure, which is recorded in many ancient books. Legend has it that it was built by a famous craftsman in ancient times and carries a secret that no one knows. It can carry a part of people's consciousness. Damn. Sachin had entrusted the academia to safeguard the diadem after all. If my senior was responsible for the diadem's disappearance, he could not afford to pay for it with his meager. Well, even if the loss was temporary, no one should know of it, lest the academia find him guilty of gross negligence. So he covered it up. Yes, it seems that he also said that many people came to inquire about it, including children, but he said that the diadem had never been lost. But he was so scared that when things blew over, he quit his job and left the academia alone. I drank too much that night, and when I woke up the next day, he was gone. The more I thought about it, the more I had a bad feeling that issues would crop up in the academia extravaganza if entrusted to someone like him. I didn't have a job at the time, so I joined the academia extravaganza planning committee. Tried to investigate things on the inside too, but I couldn't find anything. The diadem was found, and the man whose personality was said to have changed was dead. There was nothing to be found. Um, Still 20 years ago is still a long time, long enough that the people involved from the beginning no longer remember nor care. That's all I know. If you're curious, keep investigating and maybe one day you'll discover the truth. That's easy for you to say. We don't have much to go on. Do you have any more information, like where the senior colleague went? I haven't heard from him later. I also went to the desert to look for him, but in the vast desert, it was almost impossible to run into him. To make up for it, I do have some information on such, and would you like to hear it? I'm sure, tell us. Okay, when I was traveling, I did so with an Aramite commander. While we were chatting, he said he came into possession of an article written by an academia researcher. Oh, okay, this must be the research, Sachin's research. I seemed to think it was something precious and refused to show it to anyone, only to let me peek at it at my request. I only caught a glimpse of it, but I saw that it was signed by Sachin. Yeah, I didn't know who Sachin was, nor did I care. After joining the Academia Extravaganza Planning Committee, I found out that he was an important member of the Vahumana Darshan who sponsored the event. If you are interested, you can find the Aramite commander in the desert. He is usually in the valley of Dhari. Information related to Sachin. Alright, let's go take a look. Okay. Desert. Teleporting again. Damn. So this second quest is long, I guess. But it will be over at this guy. Second and okay. What's going on? This guy? So hype. What do you want? Whoa, this guy looks literally fierce. Either say your piece or leave. I have no time for you. Actually, we heard that you have Sachin's article on you, so we were wondering if we could have a look. Are you kidding me? No, why would you ask that? It seems like you guys really don't know. Some time ago, I had the article appraised. Turns out it's nothing more than a personal travel journal and is of little value. He hired my father to keep him safe. That Sachin fellow would often walk, ask, write, and mumble. There was one time his papers were blown away by the wind. He said it was no big deal. My father, however, thought the things written by intellectuals must be valuable, so he looked around for them at night with a torch. None among my family can read. My father cherished this article and then passed it on to me. I had no idea it was completely worthless. Sounds unfortunate, but do you still have it? Yes, you want to have a look? You can look at it as much as you want. Since it's not worth anything, there's no need for me to be so stingy. Okay, I guess not that long. Once the gods reigned supreme, all life flocked to them like sheep seeking shepherds, and those who suffered did so in silence. Now divine power has dwindled while human wisdom has blossomed. However, those who suffer face suffering still. There is a saying in Liyue that goes, life is like lodging at an inn, and in Inazuma all things are but void. It hurts every time I read these words. I try to seek the reason for this. The wheel of time turns, and the only constant throughout Sumeru's history is human nature. Since arriving in the desert, I have conducted a total of 64 experiments over the course of 7 years. Men are like prisoners or captured animals, feeding on each other's happiness until one is doomed to eternal torment. Therefore, where there is gain, there must be loss. Where there is happiness, there is agony. Everyone is a victim, but everyone is also a perpetrator. Greed and numbness reside in the desert of humanity. Driven by greed, humans choose to commit evil, and numbness is why they turn up. blind eye to the evil of others. But if this is what the world is, what is then the meaning of the world? The future is to the present as the present is to the past. Peace was never an option. Conflict is the eternal truth. Everything, from my knowledge, my wisdom to my life, is but nothingness. Shit. So this is the article that Sachin wrote. To be honest, Pavan can't make sense of any of it. But judging from the crummy handwriting, Pavan can say exactly why. But Pavan has a feeling he was going through a tough time. Well, we're done reading it. Thank you very much. You're welcome. It's not worth any money, but I'm going to keep it anyway. After all, my father entrusted it to me. Come see me again if you want to look at it again. Yeah, so it's over. I hope there's another one. The contestant,
I see
yes.
everything.
Why aren't they thinking anything? So this must be from the third day. So the other side quest must also be of 3 parts. Or 2. We'll find out. Come on. Oh, I hate. Good time to drink water. It's loaded.
The weather is lovely and warm. Things are about to start getting lively again.
Now we are back again, Dory. This time yet again for an information sale from Lord Sangamape. Would you like to purchase the latest reports? Let me see, this information isn't that important, so it will go for only 500,000 mora. It's half the usual price, what a bargain. Mind giving it to me for free? Oh, you want to bring it down to 0 mora? Just as I expected. But I'm the great Lord Sangamape. Well, since you're so interested, I'll tell you for free. But you must keep it to yourselves. I heard that 20 years ago, there was a contestant whose personality suddenly changed after taking part in the competition. Well, it looks like someone saw him in her village. I wonder where he ended up. That's all the information you're getting for free. If you want to hear more, better pay 2 million mora. I appreciate your patronage. Didn't Vika say that the person died? What a ripoff. We can just go to our village ourselves and ask around. I'm sure he said he died. Or were there multiple people with changed personality? Okay. Geo icon.
The wind rises.
Is below. Oh, it's an old lady. Rishti. 20 years ago, a young man did appear here. Back then, life was much harder than it is now. Poverty, disease, ignorance, they tormented us constantly. That young man, clearly from the academia with a bright future, was nevertheless willing to come here and help us. He taught us how to deal with peanut and monsters. Okay. He bought us a lot of medicine with money from his own pocket and took care of the ill all by himself. He sounds like a great guy. Yeah, too bad the good die out. So he is dead. He was always frowning and no one knew what he was worried about. Everyone was wondering if he was going to leave us. This place did not have the means to properly host him. Still, many said he was a bit crazy to begin with. For example, he would sometimes tell children a story about how, as a child, he taught a strange creature to write. Aranara again? Later, he would often leave the village and explore the desert. Once I asked him what he was looking for, and he said that he wanted to talk to someone from the Nagar something group. Nagar something group. Later on, I heard that he died in the quicksand. This said that he encountered a caravan trapped in a quicksand on his way to investigate something. He said many people, but he himself was unable to get out in time. Damn. At that time, there was still a half-finished letter addressed to his child at home. After he died, my son took the letter with him, thinking about delivering it someday. Is that unfinished letter still here? No, it's not here. To live a better life, my son became a mercenary. He was killed in a scuffle a few years ago, and his belongings were taken. Why is everyone dying? Killed in a scuffle. Many years have passed in the blink of an eye. I wonder how his child turned out and if they hold a grudge against him. Not many people know these things anymore. I'm getting old. Perhaps I'll forget these things soon too. Shit. I think this guy was searching. Could he be? I got all the flags. Yeah, I got 4 before. Yeah. One from East Darshan. So from the events, where are the flags? Damn, there are lots of things. I miss it. Not here. Not them. Where did the flags go? I guess they must be for nature to be crafted. Oh yeah, I just learned to craft. Oh shit. Okay, it's fine. These are over. And the curtains close.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's
Should I do
rather
it with
pathetic.
these? Thinking. Nah. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so I'll end it here and thank you for watching.